need to
What is going on, crew? Wishing all you amazing mothers out there a very happy Mother's Day. We're gonna keep it light. We're going full love fest today. Send it, crew. How you doing, Dad?
Couldn't be better, son. I'm here with one of my favorite people on this planet, and my mom is not any longer with us. However, she is here in spirit, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And my lovely wife, your stepmom, is back at home, and so I've been driving all night, but I feel great, and I'm excited about doing this on Mother's Day. To all the mothers out there, thank God for all you ladies.
Yeah.
Because without you, by the way, you are the ultimate creator. Remember that.
Yeah.
You are creation. You do create. It's a beautiful thing, as we all do. But it's a level of creation that a man will never experience. Well, unless you listen to those people. But I don't. So.
Yeah. Yeah, moms, you're the Stargate for all of us.
That's it. Yeah.
Stargate.
Be curious around.
The spiritual connecting force. The median on planet Earth.
Right.
So we can all be here and be talking to each other on a Sunday. Pretty amazing.
It is, really.
And I'm so super proud. Say happy Mother's Day to my mom Sue and my stepmom Elizabeth, who are such strong, like awesome women, and much wiser in different ways than I am. And I'm so thankful for the friendship in my life. And to two of my best friends, my sisters, Catherine and Lauren. I think you're both just turning into amazing mothers, and your children are a incredible representation of who you are and who they are. And it's a pleasure to be their uncle and to be your friend. Much love to my girls and our girls in the chat. We got any moms out there in the chat today? We're throwing
Becky's got to be in there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
There she is.
Hi, Becky.
Hello, Becky. And Joanna's probably lurking around in there somewhere too.
Yeah, I think I saw her in there.
Did you? Good.
Let's get her in there.
I meant to call her this morning, but I didn't. Anyway.
Hey, Joanna.
It's good. It's a very good day. It's beautiful here in San Diego. A little overcast, but it's going to be beautiful. And I've kind of a special week this week. I'm going to meet with Zips Tips is in town. And his son's getting married on this coming Thursday. So I think he and I are going to hang out for like lunch. Try and meet for lunch. Yeah. Yeah. So really cool. I'm going to try and get him on video, but he's not, it's not real big on being on camera, but I can't blame him there. His job is quite sensitive.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, there he is. He's in the crowd. Cool.
He's in the house.
Anybody that is not watching that show, you should check it out. It's very entertaining and it's very informative. Very informative.
Yes.
I watched his, it's pretty old now, but he did one on, was it Flair? It came up when I was searching Flair, I think, and his came up on my feed. I was like, wow, look at that.
That's the video I've seen. I really liked it.
Really informative.
What do you got?
Go ahead. No, I don't. Go ahead.
We got the crawfish, the other Brent. We got Becky, Darren, Billy Bob, Tomato Pete, Captain Morgan.
Nice.
Morgan. The crew rocks.
Love Captain
in
Morgan.
there. Love it. We gotta start the dog trend. We're gonna throw our dog pictures up here.
Oh yeah.
Linda, Avatar, good morning. Good afternoon to y'all.
I have been a fan of the Captain Morgan. Yes. It was a day when this captain drank Captain Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a day. Not my favorite rum, but it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Spiced.
My favorite rum is a place called Cane Garden Bay. Cane Garden Bay. Yeah.
And El Caribe, the Spanish
Yeah,
rain.
El Caribe. Yep. Tortola.
I looked for it in every liquor store. I was sober that whole year. I was still looking. Can't find it.
No.
I was gonna mail some back to my dad. Couldn't find it, even though he was sober too. I'm still gonna buy it because the legend is that good.
So good. I mean, it's one of those things you pour it out and it's got a bite like alcohol does. And you leave it in the glass, and the longer the air hits it, the more it starts tasting like brown sugar. It's just like, oh, it just gets, the more oxygen it gets, the more smoother it gets. And you're like, wow, so good. Yeah, so good. Yep. And it's very, how do they only make a few barrels of it. It's very limited. I don't think they export it off the island.
Wow. We'll have to go
Tony.
there. Welcome, Tony.
Good to catch you.
Welcome to the live chat crew, brother.
We've had a lot of new people.
Go here first live watch. Love it. Tony, where are you coming from, brother? Where you at?
Yeah. Let us know what's happening.
We're over here in Central Cali. Loving our people on Mother's Day.
I'm actually in San Diego today, but yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. On the boat.
I'll be, one of the things I really wanted to talk about was the outpouring of thanks, appreciation. Anybody that, it was amazing. The outpouring that I had about the story about the guy that wanted to, he made all the money in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That was a part of the story I didn't tell. He had lost his family from drinking and alcohol. And then now he's made all this ton of money. And now he's like, I don't have my kids, I don't have my wife, I don't have my life. And now how do I quit drinking alcohol? And that was last week's show. And the amount of outpouring that I got from Sean, from Christy, from, I think even Northern talked about it. And a few people talked about it. And he reached out to me and said, wow, I didn't think you were going to talk about it. I said, I didn't use your name or anything. He said, no, man, that's really cool. He lives in the Bahamas, by the way. But that's all I'm going to say as to who he is. We have a few people in the Bahamas. Love it. Love my Bahamians.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm going to one day go back for a Junkanoo. I'm going back. You got it. If you guys haven't, it's like a Mardi Gras, only better, in my opinion. Way better than a Mardi Gras. And they call them Junkanoo. And they're like, the music is, it's you just have to go.
It's like 24 hours straight, right?
Oh yeah. Days. Can go days. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't start till like midnight.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. And it's got this certain drum beat that they put every song you can even imagine to it. And the kids know it from like elementary school in the band. Like everybody has got an instruments in the street doing it. It's just so cool. Yeah. Anyway, he and I talk about that a lot. He's like, you got to be here for the next one. I'm like, man, maybe. I'm hoping. But a lot of people are really resonating with the fact they're trying to get their lives back together. A lot of us, we say, okay, well, gosh, when XRP gets to $100, I'm just going to be set and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And they put their lives on hold until then. It's really important we do not do that. It's very important that you live as best you can every day, not in waiting, and just be around the people that you can be with, that you enjoy being with. So, yeah, it's really important.
It's cool. I feel like the momentum's building. It's my favorite thing to talk about is momentum. When you get that Jones and that itch that, wow, things are coming, things are happening for me. Like I just started this new career and I love it. I'm already like, how do I make the most out of it? How do I take care of my team? How do I help build it? And I have the same thing with this. And so it's like having these two not identical, they're very different, but like awesome teams and awesome careers that now I'm like, years ago, I was trying to be this powerful manifester and, how can I kind of artificially prime my brain to get to that spot of, if I think about it this way, it's just going to happen. And that is definitely the attitude to use, I think. That's what I would write about in a book if I wrote about manifestation. You're priming your brain to have that attitude and to have those thoughts and that ball gets rolling. And then it's always who you meet and who you know and who motivates you. And I have those people in my life and people who want to do well and people who want to be wealthy and people who just want to hug. And that momentum of the opportunities and people coming in our life is, it's going to be really cool to share all that in the years coming up with all of you. I felt like it was always years away, and I don't feel that way anymore. Now it's like, no, this year, this is the year that I put it all together, and I make sure that all my people know that I love them, and try to not be an idiot, but I'm still male, so I'll do my best. My best, So it's things are going good. Things are really good. And I hope they're going good for all of you. I'm putting that out there, that's for sure.
Speaking of manifesting things in our lives, what we focus upon is what we become. Like the more it's really kind of like it happens to me every now and then. I'll be in such a good channel or groove, and then somebody will come along and they'll hit me with something. It's just like, and as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh wow, man, I'm sorry that you're there. Wow, you're there. Oh man, I forgot that was that even a thing anymore. It's like you get in this good groove, or you're so excited or busy with your life and you're doing your thing, and then you hear somebody come up to you and tell you just something that's like they feel like their whole existence is being threatened, and it's just like, whoa, it just sets you back. And I don't, it's weird because I was on the drive here, I was listening to yet another show discuss in some way its own version of this concept that I've been talking about for a couple of years on this channel. And there's a ton of people that are really, really, they're paranoid. They're really afraid of AI. it hit me with some friends of mine, and I was like, wow, man, again, here we are. But there was a guy that's really heavily into AI about, gosh, last week I was listening to his channel, and he was so optimistic about it. And he said a few things that triggered something with me that's very important, and I want to share it with everybody. It's part of my show notes here. All of us are we don't know this because we've been doing it for so many generations. We're somewhat robotic right now. We get up, we go to work, we do our thing. We go to school to try and figure out, are we going to be a carpenter or a doctor? We have to do. So we spend thousands of hours learning on how to go to school, how to study, how to be able to communicate, how to do all these things. And then you're 18, you decide what you're going to be in your life. And then 40 hours a week, most of us, many of us more than that, donate our consciousness, soul existence to this task, which is so menial. Almost always, it's such a, and I'm not even talking about a factory worker. I'm talking about the fact that you are not manifesting or creating what you want to do in your day, because those hours, 8 hours a day, are meant to be a creator. And you're not. You're being a puppet. You're being manipulated into so many. I think the average worker works like 2,500 hours a year. So 2,500 hours a year, that's even if you go home without thinking about your job, right? Like 2,500, it's like, well, that's just absurd how much time we give to that. I want everybody to really contemplate this. All of those menial tasks one day will be taken care of, including your employment. And everybody steps back and goes, I'm going to lose my job. My kids are going to starve to death. You can't immediately go there, or this thing is going to control my life and tell me what to do all day long. Mm-hmm. That just tells you the perspective in which you're living in. No. In my opinion, has been for years now, this is going to free you up to manifest, to create, to become you again, to become this incredible human being that all of us are, that we've forgotten who we really are, which is a connection to God, light, love, source, whatever you want to call it. That's who you are. And you've forgotten that you're that. And it's so fearful and so, frankly, caveman in its effect when you start saying, oh, well, I should fear this AI, this robot thing, and I should beat it with a club because it's a predator. It's like, no, man, let it take care of all that crap in your day that you don't want to deal with. In other words, use it to your ability to take care of the menial stuff in your life, including to some degree your employment.
Yeah.
Like, push that over there so you could spend more time with an umbrella drink, whether it's got alcohol in it or not. Like, more time under the tree, more time with a guitar in your hand, more time with a pen, writing or singing or dancing or being with others, being with the people you want to be with around a campfire with I love these people. Well, we get together about 3 hours a week if we're lucky, and then sometimes it's only once a month, or sometimes you can go years without hanging out with some of your favorite people. I think, this is my opinion, AI is going to allow us to be bigger than we've ever been spiritually. Bigger than we've ever been spiritually. And the stuff that you and I have always been involved in, Brent, is healing. You don't have time to spiritually believe and know that you're a healer, because you're so tied up in this menial task 8 hours a day. We are all healers. That's who we are. That's when you scrape your arm and it's the scab's there, and 2 days later it's gone. You're like, you healed that. We are And once we get to the point where we know that more and we have more time to understand that and to share that with each other and share our lives with each other and promote more of it and tell the stories of the great just experiences. Hey, this can't be a coincidence. I was talking about this thing and now it manifested in my life. That's not a coincidence. It is a coincidence only now in your head because you're so busy at work or consuming most of your time and tasks that you really, really aren't, well, frankly, suited to do. We're not here to put cotton on the end of a Q-tip stick. You know what I mean? That's not what we're doing here. We're bigger than that. And we should allow the small things like AI bots do the small stuff so we can be gods again. This is the concept that really blows my mind when I hear people tell me that, oh, well, we're doomed because of this. Dude, no. You're doomed already by thinking in that sense. You've already incarcerated yourself. You've put the cuffs on. And it can be everything we need it to be. It really can. So anyway, I didn't mean to go on a rant, but that's was on my show notes. And it's so important for all of us to understand who we are and how incredible we all are.
Yeah. You mentioned it, like, I think to start pushing us and moving us there, it's some kind of middle ground where, yeah, like you're saying, Dad, use the tool. And why use the tool? Why use blockchain? Why use AI? Why use any of this stuff? So that you can make things more efficient. And in that efficiency, you free up more time. And like you said, you have more power, you have more reach, you have more ability within all the rest of the systems. That's the cool part about technology. It's just like what technology's done with communication. We can talk to our now friends and crew members all over the world, in a big, giant Zoom meeting, So you got 8,760, call it 66 hours in a year. You're spending a quarter without working. You're spending another third sleeping. Menial tasks. You still got about 3,500 hours, 4,000 hours out of your year. That was what I had to really learn in my life. I blamed it all on a bunch of different things, relationships and lack of money and all this stuff. I wasn't being efficient with my own time, and I wasn't in a hot pursuit of things that I was truly passionate about. I didn't take the time even between, bottles of Captain Morgan to just sit there for 8 hours to just be like, let me draw this on a piece of paper. Let me put this on a bulletin board of exactly what I want to do. People do that with dream boards, which I think is super cool because it gives you that visual. It gives you that, okay, this is what my creative mind, my creative being is putting out. This is what I'm kind of gelling with right now. This gets me excited looking at this. I love my board that I created. I did one. I'll have to share it with you guys. I did it like 4 or 5 years ago before I went to the boats, and I just wrote a list. It was 20 things long, and I think I've done 12 of them now. I'd have to look at the list again. Yeah, I kicked butt on the list because I got efficient, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I'm passionate about these things. Like if I could turn my HD, ADHD, my high definition attention deficit disorder off for just long enough. And even if you have issues with that, which a bunch of us do, like I used music and I've used pot and I've used all these things to try to tunnel my mind into those 20 tasks. Okay. Well, I don't know how to do that, so let me read a couple books about it. And let me just today just go to the bookstore and let me buy one of those books and read a couple chapters out of it this week. That's all you got to do, right? To just get it going. Just get the ball going.
Yeah.
And if you're really passionate about those things, which you all know, you'll keep going. And I think if we can get that flow and we can allow others around us and encourage others to flow and to feel creative and to, embrace what they're bringing, we're going to start shifting this thing back, not in the direction of us, slaving away, but in the direction of us creating the world that we actually want. But it's, I think it's baby steps, Dad. You can bite off a lot at once, and sometimes it just falls in your lap. The universe is like, now. It's right now. Here you go. Are you gonna pick up the ball and run with it or not? And if that's not happening for you with whatever's going on, start biting off little pieces. Start pushing the tennis ball. Roll up a snowball and toss it down the hill. See what happens,
And this data world in which we're in is in its infancy. This whole crypto thing that we're all involved in is really the juice. It's like it's the grease for the wheel. It's the mechanism that's going to allow that old analog system to go away. That it's frankly the entire banking system is just absurd. And it like the way I've talked about it in my last video, but like they've destroyed the most important. It's not the most important thing because your spirituality, your soul, your well-being is the most important thing, obviously. But the most important thing that man strives to achieve is something to hold his wealth in. And they've destroyed it. They obliterated money. And they've made the stuff completely laughable to anybody that's done any research about it. Well, crypto comes along and says all of a sudden, hey, no, you can't just print as many of those you want. There's only 100 billion of these XRP coins. That's it. We're not making any more of these things. In fact, we're burning them and there's going to be fewer of them. So deal with it. Like, deal with that math. And like, to me, it's the entrepreneurs of the world, the creative thinkers, the people that are like, I see the problem with society. And I see that we have to live in this debt-based system. How do we get out of that? Well, when you read the white paper Satoshi wrote, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever read when it comes to economics. It truly is brilliant, what was written there, despite who you think wrote it. I don't really care. The code backs up every sentence of the white papers. And when you read that and then you look at the code and then you look after the last 8 years of my life, I've seen it just demolish system after system after system. And it just, oh, well, the government's just going to make it go away. And I look at them and laugh. I'm just like, you don't understand Bitcoin at all, do you? You have no concept of what it is. How are they going to do that with a tank, a grenade? Like, how are they going to make that happen? They can't. Like, and all they're doing by printing more and more money is making XRP and Bitcoin go up. That's all they're doing. They're only making it more and more valuable, and they're bringing more and more people into the obviousness of what they've done. And and when you look at that and how that's going to connect with AI, because God, I was just watching Tesla's quarterly the other day. It was so brilliant what they're doing with that Model 2 car is mind blowing. You guys should really look into it. It's going to blow your mind. Anyway, They're talking about that car being like $10,000. Like, who isn't going to buy one? Like, the cheapest Toyota in America is $30K.
Yeah.
He's just going to obliterate that. And he says, okay, well, go buy the Toyota then. No problem. I don't care. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pay triple the payments, you know, no problem. And when you see what that car is going to do and the way it's going to do it, it all starts to line up. You're like, well, the car is a robot. The car can drive itself. The car is connected to the internet. The car is connected to crypto. The car is AI. And the next thing you know, you're like, well, I don't have to even, I can eat my lunch in the back seat while the thing takes me to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's already like video of kids in the car alone going to soccer practice. And you're just like, no way that's happening somewhere in the world. Oh, yeah. Like, and the only way to do that is with like technology. You can't. And whether or not you think that's a cool idea or another, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter. What does matter is he's making a profit at $10,000 a car. How is Toyota going to compete with that? Like, they can't. Because a gas engine has like too many parts. And I'm not even trying to say we should go electric. That is not what I'm trying to say here.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is financially, you cannot build an ICE car, a combustible engine that has like 5 times more parts in it. Like, how are you going to compete with that? I mean, he's talking about making a car every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That, like, good luck. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and then how you, anyway, it was pretty mind blowing how cheap cars are going to get in the future. And they've reached this absurd number. I was looking at Cadillac Escalade, $135,000. I was like, what? For what? Really? It blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know they got that expensive that fast.
Well, it's like the Michael Jordan Nike effect, Dad, where,
Yeah.
you know, it was all Adidas, right? Forever. And all
Right.
Larry
I remember.
Bird and Magic and all those guys, they wore Adidas.
Yeah.
But then Nike paid for, you know, Mike to have the colored sneaks, and they paid the game tax. And then that was the cool shoe. It was on the cool guy, cool colors, the cool thing. Escalade's got that. You know, I think that's the only way that you can evaluate it like that is like,
right.
And it kind of speaks to that whole service thing too, where it's like a lot of people have told us this in the past, and now I've heard us kind of repeat it, but it's like, if you're going to provide a service for people and you're going to use your time, how valuable is your time? You know, how, like, and is it better to set your costs and your price lower, or is it going to look like you're, you know, valuing yourself and what you do if you put that cost just a little bit higher? And like, it's an argument that every business person has to go through in their head, no matter what business you're starting. But, you know, it's like, do you sell more Escalades because they're expensive or not? I don't know.
And it leads to the deflation.
Yeah.
People who think that like AI and robots, if you think that's going to ruin our world, well, okay, maybe, but the bottom line is it's going to make everything cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, because you're getting the human being out of the equation, which the labor and the workman's comp and the injuries and the time off and the pregnancy leave and, you know, office meetings and all of that just goes away, and it makes everything cheaper. And how you, like, if they would stop printing money and they would just allow technology to run, our lives would get infinitely cheaper each year. It just would forever, because technology won't succeed if it doesn't make dollars and cents. That's why you and I invest in crypto, is because it makes more sense than the dollar. It just does. It's faster, it's cheaper, it can happen instantly. I just heard this person wrote me this whole 4 paragraphs in an email about how he was trying to sell his farm, and he's trying to buy a bigger one. And the hurdles that he had to go through was just absurd, because he wanted to put a bunch of money down, and they were like, well, where'd you get this money from? It's like, I sold XRP. Oh, well, what's that? Well, how did you make money in that? It went up 5 times. What are you talking about? Yeah, I bought it for 50 cents and it went to 250. And what are you talking about? Oh, well, that sounds like money laundering or something. Nobody can make those kind of profits. And he had to argue with his bank for days about his own money. It's like, dude, I'm bringing money to the table here for you people. Have you heard of stable coins? How do you not know this? And you call yourself a banking institution. They are in so much trouble. We've been talking about on this channel for years, right? They have no idea what's coming. They have no idea. Just stable coins alone are going to wreck banks. Gone.
Yeah.
Visa and MasterCard already used. We're using stable coins. Why would I use a bank? That's already happening.
This is what
there you go.
About everyone.
There's your liquidity of money, right? All of a sudden, money is accessible now.
Yeah.
So the bot. Okay. So the electric car does what? The electric car doesn't need a human being anymore. Well, why? Well, it doesn't need him to navigate. Well, one day, very soon. It doesn't need to go to a gas pump, pull the hose out, put the hose in the tank. It simply connects itself to a wire and recharges itself. Gas cars aren't going to be able to do that. Well, not in the short term anyway. And if a combustion engine needs an oil change, then you got to do robots to fix that. When you realize where this whole efficiency thing is going, it's not just the efficiency of money, it's the efficiency of everything in our life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming when code writes code, which is where we're at. It happens fast, really fast. Yeah.
Hey, Dad, if you think that I'm going to sit in the back seat of my first generation $10,000 electric AI car and just enjoy my sandwich, you are off your rocker, sir. You are out of your gourd right now, if that's what you're thinking. Hey, but go for it, dude. Good for you.
Well, the other thing you need to remember. The other thing you need to remember is
new tech. It's
glitchy. Okay. The difference is this: electric cars are way safer in an accident. You don't have that engine going through your chest, for number one. So all of the batteries down below. So your crumple zone is twice as big. So they're running these electric cars into walls at twice as fast as an ICE car, and nobody's getting dead. So there's a lot going on there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if it ran off a bridge into the ocean, now that's a different deal. But
and now you got a swimming issue.
Yeah, you got an electrical problem too, I think. Maybe, you could have a lot of problems.
It's like having an electric eel biting your crotch underwater.
Right. We don't need any of that. Actually, it would sort itself out. So
we got to keep running on that, Dad. We got to hit some comments here, though. Captain Morgan says, so long story short, I'm a vodka guy. Morgan is my last name. Captain Morgan just works. They call me Captain Crypto Morgan.
Nice.
Captain Morgan continues, but gave up drinking years ago. Sober and strong. Let's go.
Love it.
Let's go, Captain. My man. This is a good question from Atlantic, Dad. More Thursday question. Many of us no longer with Caleb Brown. When you execute large sell orders, do you always sell into USDC as a first step? Thank you for the advice. Much appreciated.
First of all, I don't sell.
Alan will sell.
No. I don't sell it more now than ever before. I'm going to say, like in the last 2 or 3, 4 months, there are so many products out there, guys, that just basically all you want to do right now is DCA and accumulate coins. These coins, going back to AI, okay, all of these micro nodes are going to trade your accounts and automated market makers, and they're going to make you money while you sleep. This is happening now. This is even happening on the Bitcoin blockchain. Okay, so it's not just altcoins or staking. This is happening. So if you had a big purchase or a big sale that you wanted to make, I don't know why you would, given everything I just said, but let's say you wanted to sell a couple $100,000 of it. Dependent, I happen to know Atlantic is in Canada, and that's why he's no longer in Caleb and Brown. But
this is his next comment, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, and that's unfortunate, but I think they'll get it back. You know, I mean, I understand that, you know, just like banking institutions are being collapsed or crushed by crypto, ignorant government officials are in even worse trouble, because the decisions they make in behalf of us and the spending of money and the way they do it, AI has already got a higher IQ than any of them. So there you go. Their jobs are big time in jeopardy, if you ask me. We don't need 500 congressmen. Okay, I'm sorry. That's why. We don't need that anymore. So they don't even read the material anyway that they vote on. So I don't know how I got into politics, but so going back to the trade, if I was going to sell it, first of all, I don't use USDC, but only because I'm not a huge fan of Circle as a company. If Ripple buys them, then I'd say it'd be a better place to go. But I know that a lot of people told a lot of people for a long time that if you go from a coin to a stable coin to cash, that it's a non-taxable event. Good luck with that. They're pretty good at what they do. I know that many states, I don't know if you guys saw this, Missouri just went with a no capital gains tax on crypto, or Bitcoin at least. I think it's crypto. So there you go there. And I think this country anyway is headed that direction to, instead of 20 to 40% capital gains tax, I think we're going to be down to like 5 or 10%. I don't think I answered the question, but I wouldn't sell. This would be my short answer.
Yeah.
You can make money with those coins.
It's awesome to talk with people that recognize the shift's already in full swing. No matter whatever their background, they resonate with it, and it creates strong connections. That's our brother, Cody.
Amen to that, Cody.
Happy Mother's Day to Jess.
Yeah.
Much love to you guys. Much love to Harley. Yeah.
Harley's got to be just twice as tall as when I saw her last.
Co-creator Rod, Love the content you gentlemen provide. Thank you for the value you both share. God bless. God bless you, brother. Looks like
Co-create. Love the name, man. Love
thanks for your service too, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a dono in the house. Thank you,
Oh,
Daniel.
no.
Thanks for the real info. No BS. Thank you for being here with us, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks for the no BS on the AI, Dad. I like the gods comment a lot. I think to get there creatively, because there's a lot of like, but Alan, it's gonna take my job away, and then there's also like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Skynet, baby, it's coming. It's coming for
and
you. And your little dog like, too. But once you get over, okay, let's just say that all happens, right? Getting over that hump, and the next step, like any tool, how do I use it? How do I implement it to let it work for me? And then I'm a bigger part of influencing it going forward.
Right.
Just saying that's my first step. And I'm somewhere in the middle with all of it. I could argue for and against all day long, but
sure.
But it's here. It's here. It's like you were talking about with Bitcoin, Dad. It's like once the paper rolled out and once the blockchain was created, and from that day forward, it's hyper Bitcoinization. I don't care how you feel about Bitcoin. It's Skynet coming for economics. From that point forward, which I think was the intention. Not just to make this really cool thing that we're all really stoked on and it could make things more efficient. It's like that was probably also its intention, is to gobble up the old legacy here.
Yeah.
But you gotta be creative. You gotta, try to think positive. If you're not thinking positive, or if you're thinking negatively about it, try to think positively about it. If you're thinking super positive about it, it's like come back to today, and it's like, how can I use it?
Yeah. Well, it's the age-old story, right? Like I talk about this. Many of us know what Operation Mockingbird was all about. Okay, and it came to be run CIA and all the rest, and they came out and basically captured the media because the Mockingbird had taught them that if you can keep people in fear or in hating your neighbor or finding a problem, you'll focus on the problem or the negativity a lot. In particular, if you can say the same negative thing, whether it's based on reality or not, every evening in the news, you just assume that becomes your new reality, right? That's proven psychology, right? So what I'm saying is you don't need to live in fear, because if you look at mankind as a whole, 80% of all people they care about life. They don't want to see their kids die. They want to see their kids have a great life. So on a spiritual level that is higher than that media propaganda level, which is only, I think it's only like 10 to 20% of mankind lives in fear on that level. But it gets so much propaganda and it gets all the headlines and it gets thrown in your face so much, it becomes, oh, well, that's what's happening. I hear so many people tell me, oh, this is the most trying times in life. And I'm like, no, nah, sorry. Because the news doesn't say, hey, this is an awesome day. Guess what happened? The sun came up. Look how incredible that is, man. We all should rejoice. No, it would never. It's hunting the face of the planet, looking for the next jet airliner that crashed with 250 people in it so that they could throw that into your breakfast with your coffee every morning. Why? Why is that information valuable to you? Are you never going to fly in a jet again? Well, maybe, but then you live in fear. And fear is not a solution to anything. So My point is that well-being of mankind, despite those mental midgets that are doing what they're doing with propaganda, cannot be thwarted. We are positive creatures. We do believe in the next generation and the generation after that. And that's why we propagate and why we're going to have kids and why we love our children so much, is because we believe in a better tomorrow, and they can't stop that. So when you put those math numbers into AI, 80% of AI is going to be for the betterment or well-being of mankind. That's the math of the world, period. The 20% that is negative, that they could control, try and control everybody with, no, there's going to be great content creators like ourselves or other people, better channels than this, and people who are creating AI and bots, they're going to say, no, we're going to use this for betterment of mankind, and we're going to get rid of these congressmen, and they're just dead weight and taking bribes all day anyway. So they're going to create bots that are going to be, counteract that other 20% of negativity. And people don't use that equation in life enough, because that's who we are. That's what mankind really believes. We believe in a better tomorrow. And and there's great studies done about this, and I think we talk about it on the channel about, the rat in a cage, right? Like, if you put two rats in a cage and you start electrocuting it lightly, it would eventually will blame the other rat. It won't understand where the electricity is coming through its feet. It'll kill the other rat next to it, and that's what they're trying to achieve. And let's look at the big picture. We've had the ability to destroy this planet 5 times over with atomic weapons, but we haven't done that, have we? No, we haven't, because we believe that would just destroy all mankind. Well, why wouldn't we put that same logic into the AI and the running of the future of the world? Of course we would. We're going to eliminate armies with AI, not create bigger, better, badder ones. We're going to get back to defending one's nation more instead of being aggressors to other people's nations, because that's what we all want.
Yeah.
Therefore, that's what will occur.
I was just talking to Legend about this, and that electricity is like the creation of making topics where people can be offended by things. People can be separated from the whole. And I'll go with my boy Wayne Dyer here, doctor. He, he's like, why would you separate yourself from the co-creation of man? And okay, well, then let's look at the 80-20. I personally, that's just how I'm hardwired since birth. I want to live in the 80% for the rest of my life. That's why we did the Staple Crew the way that the Staple Crew is. And, I'm constantly pumping up my dad because he's that guy. Like, we're the same kind of soul. It's like, we want to live in the 80% and we want to promote the 80%. And it might feel like small potatoes on our end, like we're just maybe doing a little of this or a little of that, but those little things make the difference for the people around you, and then the people around them, and then the people around them. Like that's
right.
Where I want to stay. I want to stay there. And what have we all been taught? What have we all been programmed with? Is the 20%. Is how this focus. Hey, turn on the news. You got to see what's going on. Focus in on this 20%. These people versus these people. It's the easiest, simplest trick, and you get older and wiser, and it's just boring. It's not this exciting, oh boy, yeah, cool magic trick. It's like, no, this has been used to control us, which that's really sad. Like, it's,
when you hear that,
I'm not even pissed anymore. It's just sad.
It's ignorance. Yeah. And
Like,
when you hear politicians,
there's so much to go around. There's so much abundance to go around. Why?
And when you hear politicians argue like that whole stablecoin bill, and all you had to do is hear, I forgot the old guy's name. He's such a dinosaur. I can't even believe he's still in politics. But like that guy,
Which
forgot his
one?
name. Yeah, all of them. But I mean, he's like, well, that means you can lose all of your money. It's like, oh, and Donald Trump's going to profit from stable coins. It's like, do you even know what a stable coin is? It's impossible to profit from a stable coin, moron. Like, how do you not? How is it you can say that in the media? The media doesn't just immediately call the guy out and go, dude, actually, that's not even humanly possible to profit from a stable coin. It's a level with the dollar. How you're going to sell a dollar to make a dollar? How do you do that? Like, it's so wrong that when you hear it, you're just like, you don't even know what something is, and we've chosen you to vote on it. Like, how does that even? That's what I mean by AI could do 1,000 times better job than that guy at his job. He don't even know what a stable coin is, and he's voting on it. Like, it's hard sometimes, like very difficult for me to listen to that. And I don't listen to it. Somebody sent it to me, and it was in a video, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not shocked. Yeah. I'm just not.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
No.
And I'm not saying that Donald Trump hasn't profited off many other coins that he's promoted. Of course, he has. But not a stable coin. Don't fail that bill because you think he's going to profit from it. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Hey, Robert.
Gentlemen.
Going through the chat, man, y'all are blowing the chat up. Let's go. We went on a little rant there.
It's been a while since I've been called a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the dono. All is one. Love that handle, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Crypto tax when it's not legally defined. We are in kind of gray territory, aren't we?
I believe that's called taxation without representation is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much what that is, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you. Well, you get no support still. And that's the other thing, too, is I hear these people tell me, oh, well, crypto is just designed to enslave us all. I'm like, really? Okay, so the powers that be, the bankers that hate it, they're still closing down bank accounts that have crypto in it. Those people are the ones going to enslave us with it. They don't even understand it yet. Like, how do you think they're behind the whole thing? I mean, maybe it's a big, giant, Trojan horse. But aren't there like millions of them now?
Mm-hmm. And that was the key for me. It's like, if there's just one blockchain, no good. No good.
No,
in my brain, no good. But once the genie is out of the lamp of how to create blockchain, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody, and 80% of us can make the system more what we want it to be. Now, I know it sounds a little optimistic, but that's where we're going with this. I know that's what this group's trying to promote and do. I hear it from all of you guys.
I want to further on that just a little bit. The only answer for tyranny is crypto. Like, so what you're trying to say is that, okay, the system that we're in right now isn't tyrannical. Well, clearly it is. Money is enslaved us. Like, just go to your bank tomorrow and try and pull out 50 grand. Just see how that goes for you. Right? Like that, like, it's not your money, man. And it's not even money, and they don't have the money in the bank. Right? Yeah. So, and they get to print it You get to work for it and they get to print it. Like how do you not think that isn't tyranny? Of course, clearly that's tyranny, right? So how do you answer that? Well, we came up with crypto money. Well, okay, why would I want crypto money over my bank money? Well, because crypto money, there's only so many of them made, number one. And number two, you can use it or spend it anywhere in the world anytime you feel like using it. How is that not freedom? Why do you think that we're the crypto's the problem and your bank is the good money? How you clearly you haven't done a little bit of homework in this. Oh, they're gonna know all of your transactions because it's all going to be on the blockchain. It's like it's open source. Now, right? Now, what's going on in the banking? Is that open source? Do we have any idea where all that money's going and what it's doing? Nope.
Yeah.
For all you know.
Why is that message out there like that, Dad? Why is that message is like, well, they could just look at all of our transactions. And people are chirping that. And it's like, where did that idea come from? Oh, I don't know. The people who are trying to hide all the money. That's probably where it came from. Hello, McFly. Hello, McFly. Think.
Right?
Just saying.
I'm like, but they can find out what you did with the transaction, but they can't change it from occurring.
Daniel says that's a fact. IRS hounds you for pulling out more than 10K of your own labor. Love how you worded that, man. I love how you worded that. It's what it is.
And not
your life, your breath, your energy, your time, your effort, your time away from everything else that, well, my dad was talking about earlier, which is like, what would we all really want to do? Probably not working 40 hours a week. That's just number one. Number two is probably like having enough time free that where you start running on what I was talking about, where you can start rolling snowballs down the hill of like, man, I really think I'd be great at that. Really want that. I really want to be around this person more. And where is it, Dad? Where is that division for us? It's money.
Yep.
It
time is money, son.
It runs the show.
Yeah.
How do we all, as a group, learn to use these tools, help each other one by one, and get this thing on autopilot? Making us income. How do you use AI to help you make your job more efficient for yourself today so that you can put out more effort somewhere else in your job so that you can expand what you're doing, more money that you're making, more reach that you have?
It's crazy.
That's it. And we got the group to do that, man.
We do. We have the right group.
This is it, man.
One of my favorite stories that I've heard recently is a fellow content creator. Oh, I can use his name, Zach Rector. Sold his business and his company because of his channel. And he gets to do what clearly the man is born to do for a living. When you watch his shows, you're like, that guy's doing what he should be doing.
Yeah.
And he's been afforded the ability to still pay for his family and do what we all wanted to do, which is entertain us. And he's good at it. And he's a great researcher, and he's a great role model, and he's an incredible family man. And behind all these great content providers that we get to resonate with, if you do resonate with one, you know there's a good man behind it, or a good woman, or a person, or a group of people behind it, because you watch them every day for years and you know who they are. And then when you get to meet them, you see where I'm going with this. When you get to meet them live in person in Las Vegas, and they're exactly the same person that you got to see 5 days a week or however many days, you know you're in the right space. You know you're with the right people who are changing the reality of monetary systems going forward. That's who we are. That's who everybody in this chat is. Daniel, that's who you are. You're part of the future of less financial corruption going forward. That's what we do.
Yep. And shout out Zach Rector. I got to meet and do an interview with Zach, and he is that guy. And I love like your point, Dad. He's on his videos. He's always got that little grin, like you can just know he's right. He's right where he wants to be. He's just, dude, I'm doing this, man. Nobody's stopping me.
I know. That's good.
I love it.
Yeah. And I don't agree with everything he says or everything about his show. There's a lot of things I go, wow, whatever, man. I get it. But everybody has their own shtick,
Yep.
Opportunity is here in crypto.
There's so many things. We're trying to hit on some here. Here you go. Just fire this one in there. Digital asset ancestors. Get into a good school. Grind it out for good grades. Get a job so you can produce more for the elites. And then there comes a time for retirement. And you are finally awake. Was everything worth it? We all have to ask ourselves that. I double dare y'all to make your list of 20 things. I double dare you.
Yes.
You will find, if you look at it enough, if you roll a couple snowballs down the hill, 3-4 years later, you'll have half of that list done. And you'll probably be in a better situation because you did the first 10 to do the next 10 in your life. That's my favorite thing to talk about on the internet is momentum. I've seen it work in my own life. The stubborn, lazy procrastinator who has more passions and wants to do more things and has more types of careers than anybody I've ever known. Already me at 39. And I'm in so much of a better position to do my next 10 and to make another 10. That's the thing is you get to the end of 10 and you're like, maybe I should cook up a new list here. It looks different now. Like I feel more empowered. I have more support. And start with love, guys. Start with the relationships that I want to cultivate. So my first 4 are the kind of marriage I would want, the kind of son that I want to be, the kind of friend and uncle that is 1 through 4. And then once you're that guy or gal or whoever, you're cooking with grease because you've got the support. You're connected. Like this whole economics and money and being offended and division and all these things, it's like coming back to being a part of the whole. And there's so many good quotes about that, but it's like when you separate yourself and you go Lone Ranger, it can be effective. You can go mad scientist and be very productive and do really well for yourself. You can. You're totally able to do that, but man, it's just it's the energy is exponential when you can connect to the rest of it all in one. And man, love it. Love instead of this is a little controversial on Sunday, I'm sure. Thank you all for blowing off church to be with us. But my life changed when I stopped sitting down and praying and wishing for things to happen. And I just recognized in myself that I'm a part of it. I'm a part of God. Everything and everybody around me, every particle, everything on that you see is part of it. And if you can connect to that, if you can allow yourself to be, then all the anxiety starts going out the window and all the fear and all the, it's like, no, dude, I'm a part of this thing, just like everything else.
That's right.
Not alone. Like, and I heard this real quick. I heard this really cool story. This is a Jeremy Renner story, Dad. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. So years ago, my dad and stepmom had an interesting run-in with Jeremy Renner and his people at a bar. Picture like a scene out of Entourage. And so
it was a fun night.
I don't know if you ever heard that story, Dad, but he was doing a TV show and he was doing a stunt on a snowcat. And he fell under the tread of the snowcat. It crushed him. Like he was like clinically dead.
Wow.
Yeah, like just I forget how many surgeries the guy had, but it's just unbelievable. And he made this video recently. He's since recovered. And he talked about, like, this interviewer asked him, he's like, so you were technically dead, right? And he's like, yeah. And the guy's like, well, what did you see? How did you feel? Like, was there anything, what happened? And he was like, he got real stoic and he got real calm and like kind of that grin. And he's like, man, it was like everybody was there. And it wasn't the same reality that like we picture now. It was like just energy and like the flow and being in it.
Nice.
And what I love that he discussed is like the peace that he felt in the space. Like there's still a conscious awareness of peace. And if you can find the video, I saw it on Instagram, but it is just incredible little interview. And it reminded me to be in the flow here now, because we all chose to come back here, right? And be a part of this world. And we still choose it every day. Getting in that flow of peace and allowing peace for the ones around you, and prosperity too, because there's more than enough to go around. How do we capture? How do we promote it in a 80% way?
Yeah, there's so much. Once you tap into that, it just flows into your life. The more positive you are, and the more you believe, and the more you see it, and the more you vision it, and the more you create it, and the more it just manifests in your life. And the people that aren't there, I kind of feel bad for them. It's like, wow, like, it doesn't have to be like that for you. It really doesn't. It's not. It can be something different, but that's okay. That's where they're at. That's where they're at that time in their life, their journey or their path or this lifetime or whatever it might be. So it's not like they're doing anything wrong. Like, they're just doing it different, and or at that moment in time, they're different anyway. So, but I'm really, really excited. By the way, this Thursday night show is going to be cool because my Trust Me, Your Exit Plan show is really blowing up, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm going to talk about kind of what we talked about today, only on a financial level. How you bought the right coins. It's like Daniel. No more super chats. Buy 2 XRP for yourself. Keep them. Like, you need them, right? Please. We're good. It's very generous of you, and I really appreciate it. But I'd rather see you buy 2 more XRP and right off into the sunset and do exactly what you feel like doing with your life. Because those coins are going to earn you income the rest of your life. I really believe that to be true. So, yeah. Not that we don't like super chats, but like I'd rather you put your money to work.
Exactly. All is one. My mother got sick, passed away, came back, and told me about the light.
Love it.
Love that.
Yeah.
We got a comment from my amazing stepmom. Happy Mother's Day again. Oh, Vern. Vern. You're going on one of your little rants again, aren't you, Vern?
Yeah. Yeah. That is my lovely wife, Elizabeth. Thanks for being in there.
Yeah.
She's coming with us to Vegas, by the way, guys.
Nice.
Bobby G. Bobby G. Wait a minute. Was Bobby G at Vegas last year? No. I'm mixing that up with a different Bobby, I think. Yeah.
Bobby G. I like Bobby G in here a lot.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, my nickname is Vern to my wife. Yeah.
She says it so much that that's what I call her now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what we do around here.
Yeah.
She sent me an incredible song. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't seen her channel, I think it's in the links down below. Gotta check out her channel. She does some really neat. She puts scriptures with Course in Miracle book, and the combination of the two and the way they intertwine. And I'm getting so many people blow me up. Just wow, your wife, and that resonated with me, and I was meant to hear that. And thank God she posted that, and I'm really enjoying it. So you guys should check that out. Put that in the chat, Brent.
Yeah.
Or Elizabeth can.
Light on.
There's so many
really
girls.
all I have to do today. I want to see it. Elizabeth's been talking about doing this project for like a year plus.
Yep.
You guys used AI at one point to create like a summary analysis of Course of Miracles, which I thought was like the coolest idea. And yep. It's been Chaka says it's because you look like Ernest P. Worrell. That's true. No,
okay.
Not Jules Verne.
No.
I love that, Becky. Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah. People are getting a lot from that channel, by the way, guys. It's blowing up.
Well, what do we say?
Yeah, it's been over an hour. Let's
why don't you all go celebrate the moms in your lives? And
we really appreciate everybody being with us today. Time away from mom.
Yep. So happy to be in this with all of you. Love you all so much. I wish you could get in my head and know, but just know. And if any of you need to chat, any of you ever need to talk, you just want to talk it out about anything, hit us up. I'm always the better because it's just a bunch of really cool people in here.
Yeah. Then we get to meet everybody. That's fun too.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that this Vegas is going to be crazy this year. Yeah. Thanks, Hoopty.
Loves Becky. Hey,
All right,
thanks, dude.
man.
Appreciate it.
Dudes.
Dudes.
All right.
All right, everybody. Crawfish, Brittany, much love. Sam, my brother. Thank
Solar
you so
brother.
much. Kim, love it.
All right, B-Man, let's get out of here. It's time.
It is time. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.